Tonight, the career nurse sacked for giving her family spare jabs of Pfizer. Kirsten Peterson's been vaccinating people in aged care and disability homes. She lost her job when she administered doses to her daughter and nephews that were about to go to waste.
Kirsten Peterson should be using these critical medical supplies to vaccinate people. Instead, they're about to be taken off her.
It breaks your heart to see that these doses are going in the bin.
After more than 40 years as a nurse, she was sacked on the spot for giving spare Pfizer vaccines to her family members.
You squirt it into the bin. You squirt the It's terrible. You feel terrible because you know that they could be used for someone, so yeah, they go in the bin.
The 67-year-old has administered hundreds of doses at aged care and disability homes in the past month. Kirsten says she was so careful when measuring out the vaccines.
I've been very lucky. I've usually had 0 to toss.
How many doses do you think you've squirted in the bin?
3 at 2 different venues, so 2 at one and 1 at another. And on the day that my family members came in, none were squirted out, they were used.
Kirsten called her daughter and 2 nephews to race in and save the spares.
I've never opened a vaccine, and I never would, for those people in particular who are my family members.
For anyone who would say you didn't have any right to give those doses to your family members, what do you say to them?
These were spares that were going to be ditched.
She thought she was doing the right thing, but her employer, Healthcare Australia, disagreed and terminated the grandmother's contract.
I said, can I please have another chance? And he said, no. And I said, well, it's my only job at the moment. And he said, well, you've squandered it.
This is what the New South Wales Chief Health Officer had to say on the matter.
I do not want to see 1 ounce or 1 dose of Pfizer going to waste at this current time.
But Kerry Chant stopped short of commenting on whether Kirsten should get her job back.
I think it's premature to comment. All I would like to just stress is I do not want any wastage of Pfizer.
What wrong have I done to a patient? Nothing.
Kirsten says her punishment is harsh when you compare it to others who've done the wrong thing.
There's no gain in it for me, whose arm that jab goes into. I don't get any financial incentive.
Unlike these doctors we exposed, who were cashing in on desperate patients, charging $225 for a consultation to get a Pfizer vaccine. On Thursday last week, we brought you a story about this GP clinic, Blessed Healthcare at Campsie, in one of Sydney's hotspots. By this time, it was a hive of activity of people turning up desperate for a vaccine. But as you can see today, it's a very different story. Besides one small poster reminding patients to socially distance, there's not a single sign advertising a COVID vaccination in sight. Hiding under a hood and protective shield, this GP refused to give any explanation. Hello, Dr. Dimity from A Current Affair. It seems that you've taken all your signs down. Can you guarantee that you won't be charging your patients for a vaccination? Are you going to refund all of your patients that you charged? Were you aware of the government rules, or were you caught doing the wrong thing last week, Doctor? Federal health authorities issued this stark warning.
We'll throw the book at them.
And it seems the clinic has cleaned up its act.
What we need are clear and fair rules.
Industrial law barrister Ian Neal.
At the moment, we don't have rules like that. We don't have clear and fair rules about who gets what vaccine, when, why and how.
I rest my case. Yeah, it's up to the people to decide, what they think.
For the first time in 43 years, Kirsten finds herself stuck at home during a health crisis, instead of working on the front line to help the country get back to normal.
I'd love my job back. I was thoroughly enjoying it. It is an important job and you feel you're doing something for the people.
Healthcare Australia says Kirsten was terminated for failing to comply with current health department protocols. The full statement is on our website.